Hey and welcome to Chefs and Foodies. We've got a very special partnership that we're bringing to you today with Freshasia dumplings. Today we're making a Gyoza Ramen. We've got chicken and veg gyoza, so let's get started. We're going to start by making our broth. The key to any ramen is an amazing broth. So we've got our stock here. I've added in the miso paste and about 500 millilitres of water. So we're going to get that on the hob, and that will act as the base to our ramen. Then from there, we've got some garlic and ginger paste. I'm going to add that in. I'll bring a lovely kick to the dish and really start to bring through some of those lovely aromats. We've then got some rice vinegar, which will bring a lovely bit of acidity through it. Add that in. We've then got our soy sauce. We're going to add that in, which will bring a really nice colour and some really nice umami flavours to the dish. We've then got our peanut butter. So this will bring a really lovely nutty texture. We're going to add that. And then finally, we've got our oat milk. So the key to a tantaman ramen, which makes it a little bit different to other noodle broth dishes, is it's got a really nice kind of creamy finish to it. So we're going to add the oat milk. So now we've got our broth on, we're going to bring that up to the boil. Once it's at boil, we're going to reduce it down to a nice medium heat and cook that for around 15 to 20 minutes. Make sure you give it a stir so all that peanut butter is really nice and incorporated. I don't put a lid on the pan either because I like to reduce down a little bit so it's got a nice kind of thickness to it. So next we've got some cashews which we're going to roast in the oven, which we'll put on top of the ramen to give a really nice kind of crunchy texture. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put our cashews in a bowl. Got a little bit of oil here. I'm just going to give that a little bit of a stir just to make sure they're all kind of fully coated. And then we're literally just going to put them on a baking tray, spread them out and put them in the oven for about 15 minutes. So now we're going to start prepping our vegetables. So we've got carrots, we've got spring onions, radishes, some bok choy, some coriander. Most of these we're going to keep raw and just kind of garnish the plate with for that really nice kind of crunch element. So we're going to start peeling the carrots. We just really want some nice matchsticks of these. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut that. If you've got a julienne peeler, even better. I like doing this by hand. And it can be as rustic as you want it to be. It doesn't need to be super uniform. So we cut them widthways and then just cut them long ways as well. So you've got those lovely matchsticks. We're going to do that with the rest of our carrot as well. We also use this carrot for our pickled radish and carrot salad. We're then going to prepare our radishes. We're just going to cut these really fine, so we want some really thin slices to go through the pickle and on top of the ramen. Again, really doesn't have to be very uniform. I always like getting some larger bits as well for a bit more crunch. Brilliant. So we're just going to set those aside. We're then just going to do the same with our spring onion. So again, remove the tops. We can use the white and the green part here. I always just cut off the ends. They're always a little bit straggly. So just going to chop those in half and then cut lengthways. Then again, just do some really nice kind of thin strands that we can garnish our ramen with. Lovely. So we're just going to set these aside. And then we're just going to get, so the bok choy, we do steam this, just because otherwise it's quite brittle. So again, we're just going to cut this. It's really nice to keep the leaf part on as well. Just cut some really nice strands of this. Cool, so that's all our veggies prepped. We're now at the final part of the cook, so we're going to start cooking our gyoza. So basically we're going to do a nice pot sticker version. So we've got a pan here with some oil in. It's on quite a high heat. We're just going to place these gyoza down to the flat side on the bottom. And basically what we want here is to get a really nice caramelization on the bottom, so they have a bit of texture to them. Once that bottom side's got some colour on, we're going to add some water, place the lid on top and steam them through. So as you can see, we've started to get some really nice caramelization on the bottom of those gyoza there. So now we've got the caramelization, we're going to add the water in and place the lid on so it steams. We want to make sure the gyozas are covered about 1/3 of the way up, and then place that lid on. We'll cook them for around 3 to 4 minutes. So now we're going to cook our noodles, cook our bok choy, and we're ready to serve. So the noodles, we've got some lovely ramen noodles here. Ramen noodles are always used with a really high protein flour, so they're always very white and thin. So we're going to add those to our broth. Use a spoon or a fork to kind of break those up as they get hot. And then we've got a steamer here. So this is just some water at the bottom of the pan. We've got a metal steamer. You can also use a bamboo steamer to do this, and always keep a lid on top. So we're just going to add our bok choy to steam that through and place the lid on top, as so. So the noodles only need around 2 to 3 minutes. And then we're ready to plate. So now our gyoza is cooked. You can see that all of that water has evaporated. So we're just going to take those off the heat, ready for plating. So now we're going to start on our pickled carrot and radish salad. So we're going to take our rice vinegar, we're going to top that up with exactly the same amount of water, so just a little bit there, just to balance out the acidity in the vinegar. We're then going to add our sugar, and that will bring a really nice sweetness to the pickle. There's quite a lot of natural sweetness in a radish and a carrot anyway, so it'll bring out those really nice parts of it. We're then going to add the salt. And we've also got some garlic powder here. So that'll just bring another dimension of flavour to the pickle. So we're just going to add that in. And then we're just going to give that a stir. Really incorporate that sugar, that salt, that garlic powder, and that vinegar. So we're just going to put that to the side. And then from there, we're going to start on our vegetable prep. So what we're going to do is we're just going to peel our carrot. I sometimes keep my carrot peelings. You can fry them in oil, make a really nice kind of crisp topping for salads and stuff. That's completely up to you. So we'll just put them to the side for the minute. And then we want to get some really nice kind of long, thin batons here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut that in half. Cut it in half again diagonally. And then kind of cut some thin strips of it. If you've also got a mandolin, you can do that on that, but I like to do it by hand. So we can then stack them all on top of each other as so, and then cut vertically. So we just get some really nice strands of the carrot there. You can go as thin or as chunky as you want. I quite like a nice bit of crunch. It's a really nice texture to have some crunch on this dish when you compare it to like the softness of the dumplings and stuff. So now we've got our carrots, we're just going to prep our radishes. So we're just going to take the tops and the bottoms off, and then from there just cut some really nice thin slices. The nice thing about this pickle is, because we've got 2 really brightly coloured vegetables as well, you get a really nice colour that they kind of blend together when you put it in the pickle, and all that acidity kind of saturates some of the colour. So we're just going to chop these really fine. It really doesn't matter if they're all regular. It's kind of the nice part of a pickle, it can be really rustic. So now we're going to put our vegetables into the pickle. So all of that's just had a little minute to marinate. We're just going to add our carrot and all of our lovely radish and just give that a big mix. We want to try and make sure as much of that liquid covers the vegetables as possible. You can even use your hands to really get that in there and get all of that soaking together. So So for then, we're just gonna set that to the side, put that in the fridge, depending on how long you're doing this in advance of when you're actually gonna eat. So we've also got some sesame seeds. We're just gonna finish that off. We're just gonna add those and give that a stir through so you get that lovely little pop of sesame through every bite of that salad. Just give that a little stir through there. We're going to start by plating our noodles. So they've cooked in the broth, so they'll take on some of that lovely flavour. What we're going to do is we're going to just decant them into the bowl separately, because it's always really nice to be able to pour on your broth. We're now going to add our bok choy, which is all steamed beautifully. You can see it's still got that really vibrant green colour. That just sits at the bottom of the bowl with the noodles. We're going to add on our gyozas. So we're just going to place these to the side. I always love to show that crispy bottom on them as well. Otherwise, what's all the hard work for? We've then got all of our vegetables, so we're just gonna add some of that carrot, add some of those spring onions, and that lovely radish as well. And then with our broth, we're just gonna pour this into a jug so it's easier to pour in. Just add our cashews on top. And a good tip when you're pouring your broth in is always do it from the side. If you go in the middle, it will kind of splay out all of your lovely ingredients. So we're just going to pour from the edge. See, all these different colours. It's an absolute picture of health. I really like a nice bit of a kick to my ramen. I don't put too much chilies in the broth, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of this Yet Kitchen Sichuan chili oil. It brings a really nice heat to the dish. So I've got some here. It's got all these lovely chunky bits in it too. So we're just going to scatter some of that around the top. Useful. And then we've just got some fresh coriander here, just to decorate on the top and bring some of those lovely aromats through. There you have it, my Gyoza Ramen.